Hey, how's it going, boys? What is up? Sora's back once again for another Suptix video on who should I pick, Senpai? Yeah, I think that was the title or something. Which character or summon or whatever should I pick, Senpai? Yeah, I think that was the one. But yeah, hello, hi. Hopefully you're doing well with this very dangerous times. Hopefully you're all safe and well. But if you actually want to burn $30 US dollars, I guess, and if you have no idea who to pick, I guess that's probably one of the main reasons why you're watching this video in the first place. So yeah, anyway, I'll be including timestamps to whichever element or whatever stuff that you're planning to aim for, kind of shit, because end of the day, this is just up to you to pick whatever you want. This is just probably gonna help you a little bit in the current situation / time, whatever stuff. Because as always, if you're wondering, I'm only gonna mention like the new characters that has been added into this Suptix. This is not going to be what's that? Because the last actual Suptix we had was back in January, New Year's or whatever. Because I wouldn't really the last somewhat like last Suptix was actually anniversary, right? So I'm not gonna consider that. That is a very special once a year kind of thing. It's totally different. I'm not gonna put it there. So the last Suptix we actually had is in January. So it's been a really long time, and there's a lot of new stuff has been added in or changed since then. So I'm gonna mention all of that, and also we're gonna talk about whether the character, like whichever characters that will be, you know, good for like upcoming Guild Wars or so, you know, like for fire favorite, or maybe if you're one of those players that already have your fire up to par or whatever shit, and you're just looking for earth characters and stuff, because there's an earth favorite Guild War coming following the next one, which is happening in August. But there's probably going to be another Suptix then, but I'm just going to mention it first either way. So yeah, all the stuff is in the description. I'm going to put a timestamp in there. So yeah. Anyway, let's just jump right into it, okay? So first and foremost, we'll be talking about, we're going to go into Fire first. Fire, we have Ulysses. Ulysses is a brand new, so not really brand new, but she's considered a brand new character that's been added into the Suptix pool. Like I said again, if you're wondering, this is not including the anniversary one. We totally cut off anniversary. Anniversary Suptix is totally different, and it's not going to be included in this at all. So we're going to talk about Ulysses again. So Ulysses in this current situation is actually pretty good, only if you're planning to use a lot of enmity stuff, which I'm assuming that's the case because you are probably using AES or some shit like that. Because how you pronounce that shit? XX? Yeah, that stupid weapon has been already upgraded. You can full limit break that shit. It's pretty good. It works relatively well for Magna now. If not, if you're using Prom Grid, that works too, because Ulysses is pretty good in that regard. It's just only like, I would say she's only also like just really good if you're lacking with a lot of different characters and such. She's actually good to enable enmity and also like help you like what's that word? Maybe enable the likes of like Mugen or some shit like that. If you have that kind of setup, then sure, go for it. I honestly think that's fine. But the other thing, like besides her actual character, she's pretty nice. Besides her whole skill set and stuff, she's very enmity based and all that shit. But besides that, her weapon is also pretty good, because like her weapon has garrison. If I recall correctly, it's medium garrison. Has a little bit of crit and enmity in there. So if you're needing a weapon like that for your primal and shit, then yeah, you can also consider that. It's actually pretty good. Gangster Knife is pretty legit, especially when the other so-called garrison weapon is actually locked by the whole limited case to it, because the other garrison weapon that we have for fire right now is Valentine Scat's weapon, and as you all know, she's a Valentine character that only comes once a year. So it's very, very, very limited. So if you're not really looking, actually you want a garrison weapon and you don't want to wait next year for that, then yeah, Gangster Knife is one way to do it. But I wouldn't bar that though. Most of the time, this kind of shit, right, is better off if you really just want to aim for like a certain weapon like this. It's better off you just Suptix every single one of them or some shit. But if you're, I don't know, if you have a crazy amount of bars or some shit, then by all means, I guess it's your currency, right? You want to burn it? Your fucking call. None of my business. I'm just here to I guess help a little bit. But yeah, anyway, that's fire usage. Her character is pretty nice and all that shit. Her weapon's good as well. Okay, so moving on to water. So water, we have 2 new characters, and it's kind of nice because they kind of show the new characters here too. But anyway, so the other new character that was added in is Water Licia and Vampy. So we're gonna talk about Vampy first. So Vampy is very like straightforward. It's super easy. If you want a character that is like gonna help you a fuck ton in OTK, just get Water Vampy. Water Vampy's OTK strength is easily 11 out of 10. She's so fucking strong. Because of her insane modifier on her Ogi. Because that shit is so fucking strong, and she starts with the 2 stacks, and you automatically like able to get a fuck ton of damage because she already starts at 2 stacks, and she uses 2 stacks for the special Ogi of hers, right? So if you just need just in short, like you just want an OTK character, just get her. But if you're planning to get if you're thinking like maybe you want to use a little bit more on like generic purposes and stuff, she's actually okay as well. She's not too bad in that regard, but I wouldn't really consider using her in a long run kind of shit. But still good. It's still good. And but I would really just say that she's more to OTK stuff. If you just want like a little bit of say if you just want a very strong OTK and want to do a little bit extra stuff outside of OTK, she's also still okay. It's just that maybe at times I wouldn't really consider that. But she's still good. If you're really looking for a character like that, sure, by all means, go right ahead. Weapon though is a Pepega. Don't bother. Next we have where is it? Where's Water Licia? There she is. So Water Licia is also another character that is it's kind of like a mixed bag, because Licia is kind of like somewhat like an OTK character, but at the same time she's kind of like a Water Tabina, like a water version of Tabina-ish, something like that. Because usually what Licia tends to be in is like she's always in, like from what I can see, she's just mostly used as like a backliner, because what she does is similar to like what like Silva does. Basically, if you put her in the backline, she can automatically do like a nuke based on how many like your chain bursts, right? Because like 4 chain or whatever shit. So it really based on your chain, and also the damage is reliant on your MC. It's all based on your MC stats. You don't really have to level Licia if you just want to use her. What's that? Her backline aura or something. Wait, backline aura? I mean, but backline passive or whatever shit. If you're planning to do that, but if you're just planning to use that, and she's just basically like a 1 extra nuke, a small little how do I say, a small upgrade to just make your OTK a lot better. That's pretty much who Licia is, I would say. It's just that if you are thinking of maybe you want to have like another debuffer and nukes a lot kind of shit like that, I guess Water Licia can be that character for you if you actually need. But honestly, I feel like in most cases Licia is just better off just using as like the OTK character. So you just put her in the backline, and then you use your other OTK characters in front, and then you can easily get your OTK done and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's the new water characters. And yeah, it's all water OTK characters, man. But Guild War is over already, so I'm not even sure why you want to go with them. But if you want to go with them, I'm not gonna stop you. Go right ahead. Alright, so next we have Earth. Earth, we only have 1 character, which is Jin. So Jin is I'm gonna save your time and just say just fucking ignore him. End of story, okay? just ignore him. His dog shit. I'm just gonna save your time. Just say it like that. His weapon sucks. The character sucks. Just don't bother about him until he gets an actual rebalance, okay? Even though he's a relatively new character, like I think 1 month-ish old, so until now I don't even remember when. I think it was, yeah, I think it's around there. But yeah, he sucks. Okay, moving on. All right, so Win. The new character for Win is Yoda. Where is Yoda? Yoda. There it is. Yoda is... I feel like Win Yoda is a little bit in a special place right now. It's like he can be a very bursty character, but at the same time he can also be like somewhat like the character that you can somewhat just use for a really long time, but at the same time his specialty is just to burst, right? He's not like really an OTK character too. I mean, I tried using him for like the whole burst setup thingy, but like other characters seems to be a lot better in that regard. So if you want to know my opinion about him in terms of like whether is it worth the Suptix or not, I wouldn't say so. Because Win Yoda isn't really that worth to have in like to Suptix, right? If you're looking for a character, you kind of want to make like the best bang to your buck, right? So it's like you want to make it worth it. I wouldn't exactly say Win Yoda is worth it. He's kind of like a fun bursty character, but he's not really worth for a Suptix. Just if you really want him that badly, then go ahead, but honestly it's a big waste of money. It's just better off just wait until you get like random roll for free or some shit. Like now we have like free rolls going on, and hopefully you get him or some shit. I haven't, yeah. he is not really that great of a character to aim for. Okay, so for Light, we have 2 new characters, which is Danoa and Ilsa. So for Danoa, I remember mentioning that she's in a very special place where she's very focused to enmity right now. And not to mention, we have a new update not too long ago when it comes to a certain Apollo's bow. And not to mention, we also have a certain garrison shit that is happening. Which is Odin's Harp. So if you're planning to really just go full-blown enmity shit, she's kind of viable. And like because of the changes of Apollo's bow and you know, comboing with Geisenborger and shit, you can actually make it work. It's possible, yes, but like I would say like the main problem to running enmity in Light is that Light has too much sustain. You get what I mean? Because Light has a lot of like stuff that allows to bump up your HP back up. That's the problem, I would say. Because there's a lot of characters in Light that actually just either maybe just heal you or gives you refresh and shit like that, or you know, stuff like that. There are quite a few characters that actually provides that, especially if you want to make use of like a full-blown enmity thing. And you know, if you're planning to like get a character to maybe be ready for like, I don't know, make use of a certain raid or whatever shit that's coming up soon. But if you're just planning to use like in a generic for fun grid and shit, like enmity, she definitely does work right now. But I really feel like you probably might want to tag her with Geisenborger though. You might not need to do that, but yeah, she's pretty strong though. She's pretty strong in that regard. But when it comes to like whether is it worth to get her or not too much yet. I would just say right now it's still like around 4 out of 10, like in terms of how worth she is in the current Suptix. So if you just want like, I guess somewhat of a usable Danoa version, then yeah, she's a usable version. The other Danoa versions are dog shit anyway, so it's kind of funny because the other versions are all limited too. And this is a supplicable one, so that is usable. But yeah, Anyway, moving on. The second one is Ilsa. Where's Ilsa? Okay, there she is. Alright, so Ilsa, I would say if you're very, very focused on just mashing skill damage nukes and stuff like that, she's actually very, very strong. Especially when you have like who's that character? The one that does a lot of nukes? The one that was just released a while ago. Yeah, that character. I forgot his name, or her name. But yeah, that character. If you're planning to like, if you want like a very skill-based focus setup, Ilsa is probably the character for you. And not to mention, you also, if you have like the Astral Weapon, the Astral Weapon also helps you with that. The light spear, I've forgotten what the hell is that name called. So if you have that as well, that will help you. And plus, not to mention, that thing is also going to get a not full lunar break, 5 stars very, very soon. 5 stars, because you know we already have that whole new upcoming Babusan raid coming up end of this month, and that shit is gonna get a 5-star upgrade right end of the month. So maybe it's gonna be better. Who knows? Ilsa might be very, very, very strong in that regard. Yeah, if you're planning to go in that specific skill-based setup, I would definitely say Ilsa is really, really good, because she can like consistently just keep nuking non-stop. So yeah, if you want that kind of shit, sure, by all means, eh? Okay. Then the last one for the new characters is Dark, which is we only have Lucius right now. Lucius is also in a very, very special spot right now. Lucius is somewhat like he's almost kind of like a dark version of the Earth Gandalf. You remember that guy? Yeah, somewhat like that, because because they're related in like lore wise, but he's very nuke focused. His nuke is really, really hard. It feels like, you know, I did try him from time to time, but it's like he feels very, very clunky for some odd reason, right? For some odd fucking reason that you do not have enough nukes in like a certain Akaram fight or whatever shit, in Dark Favoured Akaram fight or whatever, then Lucius might actually help you in that regard. But I don't think he's worth for a Suptix in that regard. Yeah, he just nukes really, really hard. His weapon is okay. His weapon is slightly decent, but I don't think he's worth to go just because of that, right? You can probably skip it though. When it comes to Lucius, I wouldn't really consider him a good pick for this one. Okay, so new summons. New summons, we have the two new the crest summons, which is Heimdall and yeah, blah 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 blah. Yeah, that name, okay. So right now, these two, if you need like a crest summon, then yeah, that's fine. But honestly, if you ask me, dark summon is honestly like not needed at all, because there isn't really like a lot of characters in Dark that actually heavily relies on like, or like, you know, make use of like the crest mechanic in the game. So it's pretty wasteful to actually just get him. It's just more like, if you get him, sure, you get him. But Heimdall is somewhat okay. He's somewhat okay, but if it's just like it's those kind of summons, if you, like I said, if you just want a crest summon to make use of, then yeah, you can consider them. If not, then you can just ignore them outright. Because if you just want to max them out and shit, you just have to go in and go buy every single Suptix or some shit, or you not just buy one, just wait until there's more dupes appearing in your free rolls or whatever shit like that, then yeah, I guess so. But if not, yeah, same thing. Okay, so that should be it. I'm not gonna talk about weapons because they're the same shit. That's all the new stuff. Now we're gonna go into the character changes, like, you know, whether they got rebalanced or not, full lumen break or whatever shit. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that. So yeah, first thing, we're gonna just go to fire. We have obviously Zeta. Zeta is Zeta full lumen break was added in end of January. here's the thing. Big disclaimer. If this is just for her full limit break, okay? I'm not talking in terms of like her max limit break or whatever. If you already have that item, you did that certain event, because we have no freaking idea. We have no idea when is that stupid event coming back, which is the second wait, what, I've forgotten what's the event called, second advent or some shit. But yeah, that special event, that provides that so-called limit break material to Zeta to allow you to full limit break. Yeah, we have no idea when is that coming back. But if you already did that event, whatever that event is called, yeah, that chat already mentioned. If you already gotten that, I can highly suggest you to just go for Zeta, because Zeta is a very, very strong unit. She's good in probably in majority of the cases, actually. She can be a little bit slow, but honestly, she's still very, very strong, and it's kind of hard to ignore the very fact on how much of a power creep that she got just because of a full limit break alone. She managed to be like a character that you can just slot in for far. She also can be the character that you can just slot in for bursty setups. She can be the character that you can just slot in for full auto. She's also the character that you can slot in for, I don't know, just for normal generic long range and stuff. So you can consistently cycle her skills and shit like that. She turned out to be that character. She's actually very, very strong. So like I said, big disclaimer, if you have that, then yes, by all means, I think Zeta is a really, really good pick. Especially when it comes to Guild War. I'm probably going to mention that again later. Guild War, she's probably going to be very good because she has delay, she has dispel. I mean, double delay, double dispel. And very good for full auto. Because she will automatically press her second skill first. And the way she works in a full limit break is that she always must press the second skill first in order for you to double cast everything else. But it doesn't really matter too much because like she will only press her first skill on turn, or like the one turn before if you're going full auto. But honestly, that doesn't really matter too much. But like her main skill mechanics will still work in full auto, so it's actually very, very good. That's why when it comes to like maybe in like whatever shit I mentioned earlier, if you're looking for that, she's definitely worth it. She's actually very, very strong now, and I just really can't believe that she's a supplicable character. But yeah, she's, like I said, she's gated behind a fucking material that you can only get from a specific event that is not available anymore. So we do not know when that shit is coming to the side stories. So this is only for the guys or people, girls, gender equality. If you already have that material and you do not have Zeta yet, then sure, by all means, I think it's pretty damn worth. But if you do not have her material yet to full limit breaker, I suggest you to just ignore her altogether, because she's not gonna do much at max limit break. She can still do something in max limit break, but I don't think she's gonna help out all too much. Okay, but yeah, so that's for Zeta. Zeta is just she's really good right now. Next we have Vaseraga. So Vaseraga is, oh boy, man, Vaseraga, I feel like he's like the you know, he's like the YouTube star that fucks up a lot of times, you know. Vaseraga has been in that position for so long because a lot of people, or more like I guess a small amount of minority of players who actually know how to properly use or abuse what his new passive was. So what exactly happened is that everyone was abusing his new passive that literally makes him immortal. So literally what happens is that they just do that and they just full auto after that and just let Vaseraga solo the entire thing or whatever shit. Yeah. That's basically what happened. And because of that, Cygames had to like change his passive, I think twice, if I recall correctly. So he got nerfed already. I mean, in all honesty, he's still pretty damn strong though. Just that his passive is not as OP anymore, unfortunately, because now it only lasts for like 20... Was it 20 turns? I think it was 20 turns, right? Compared to indefinite. It used to be indefinite. That was the thing. And now it's like what, 20 turns or some shit. So he's not that strong anymore. So he'll eventually die. He's not super immortal anymore, unfortunately. So, but if you want a character, yeah, like that, and I guess, but honestly, I don't think he's really worth it anymore. He is still a pretty fun character to use nonetheless. He's definitely usable now, but because of all his changes, I wouldn't say he's worth it anymore. You can probably just skip this one though, unfortunately. All right, moving on. The next one is Tiamat. Tiamat Full Limit Break was introduced. I think it was slightly before Guild War, Win Favorite Guild War or some shit. Yeah. So Tiamat is a not too bad character. If you're in a position where getting seraphic weapons to like say SSR or some shit or Full Limit Break, whatever, is relatively hard for you. If you're in that position that you find upgrading your seraphic weapon is hard or tough and stuff like that, yeah, Tiamat is definitely would be always a good character to aim for in that specific situation. If you're in that position, that is. Other than that, she's a decent character to use. She's a good full auto character. She's yeah, I guess that's really much about it. I guess she looks nice. Yeah, I mean that's really pretty much about what I can say. She's just really good in full auto and stuff like that. And if you're in that position where seraphic is hard for you to get, then yeah, she's like your ideal character to slot in your front line if you need that seraphic boost to your party. Keep in mind that it only works when she's front line, not in the back line. But yeah, that's Tiamat. Lastly, on the Full Limit Break change, we have Jake Paul. If you don't know who Jake Paul is Logan Paul's brother. They are a very huge YouTuber. Okay, I'm not gonna meme about that too much anymore, but yeah. Vane's Full Limit Break. His max limit break previously, and not to mention they also did a small rebalance for Vane. That's one of the main reasons why Vane turned out to be a much better character to be used in today's content, I guess. So if you need a character, especially if you already have Maria, the Invoker, Vane is like the best husbando for Maria, man. Like the synergy between Maria and Vane is just fucking insane. You have no fucking idea how insane they are. Especially if you also have like if you're actually still using like Quattro or some shit, you can extend their shit, their stupid insane buffs even more. It's insane, man. And I mean, I'm pretty certain you already seen like the crazy I don't know, stuff that Vane can do. I'll probably just include a short clip here on what he actually did in what's that, in Fa? What he can do. Did I die?
I died with hand.
I think I know.
2 counters. It's 2 counters at the moment.
Only two people died, so I don't know why.
I dodged? Yeah, you probably just saw that like a moment ago. Honestly, that's actually a joke, but it's not exactly true because that only happens because I have the special ring on him. In short, Vane is just really in a very good position right now. Like he always can get his permanent. He gets permanent MET buff. His sub is just insanely good. His third skill just makes it so much stronger. Makes him just like a fucking god. His S1 is kind of like whatever, but in like to combine with his Ogi buff that allows him to cast twice, just allows him to stay alive even longer. But a lot of times it's better off just allowing him to do that by himself. By that I mean like only allow him to do that when the boss itself only do like a special attack or some shit. I feel like in most situations it's better for him to activate his double nuke in that part, because a lot of times he'll probably be at, because a lot of times when I use him, he tends to be like a very, very high HP. So a lot of times what I tend to do is that I will use his S2. He'll take 40% of his HP. He also was like full HP or whatever, because I'll just use his third skill or whatever. So I'll take a full 40% cut of HP on him, so he's like 40% lower. He's still green, that's fine. He has guts, so you take one nuke or all ally nuke, he still survives, and then he automatically heals like 5,000 or some shit to himself, so it allows him to keep himself alive a lot better. Because it's just that for his first skill, usually I tend to just I could probably just press that off cooldown, but I would only press that when you do not have his OD buff. But either way, in short, Vayne is just a very, very strong character now. It's so easy to get his third skill up and running, because his second skill is literally 3 turns cooldown. You can just get that shit up in like just two button presses on his S2. His S3 literally just appears after that, and then he just goes out of control. Whenever you get his S3 up, he has like crazy amount of defense. His attack is just fucking insane. His cap is so fucking high. He just goes into town, man. Just Jake Paul, just doing Jake Paul things, alright? He's just really, really strong. But yeah, if you're looking for that character, sure, why not? He really works. Not to mention, he also works relatively well in FA as well. That's one of the main reasons why I showed you that clip earlier. So the next changes we have is summons. So the summons, we have 2 new summons that got a Follow Me Break upgrade, which is Freyr and Demon Bream. What I can say about Freyr is just don't. Because all he adds is Dispel Cancel. That's it, really. Yeah, it's just Dispel Cancel. What the fuck you want to do that for? But if you haven't gotten Freyr yet, having it at 0 stars definitely does do a lot for your win team, or if you just want to nuke in general. Yeah, that's fine. But if you're planning to aim for just to get to Full Limit Break, I don't think that's really worth it though. It just gets a little bit of a stats plus. I know his stats kind of suck, but I guess that kind of helps. But his Full Limit Break upgrades just... it's just a waste of time, man. But Demon Bream though. Demon Bream is... I would say it's like, it's so damn strong right now. I remember Demon Bream was like one of the main summons that people sought out for to use during Win Favorite Guild War in like a few months ago. This was the shit. But I wouldn't really consider getting the summon now though. If you're planning to just try to get it to full limit break to min max your, or try to, you know, do like some bursty combo setup with your win, then yeah, sure, I guess that works too. But other than that, I don't think I would really say it's a good idea to go for it. So now this part of the video is towards Fire Favorite Guild War. So here I'm just gonna point out specific characters that are worth to grab for the upcoming Guild War that is happening in May. So first things first, we're gonna talk about the OTK stuff. So if you want to min-max or like make your life a lot easier when it comes to the EX plus nuking stuff, now your number 1 pick or number 2 pick, whichever, there's 2 characters to go in that regard. The first one I would say is, because he's in my screen already, so Vayne and Lancelot, or Lancelot and Vayne, whichever you want to call it. So these guys, the reason why I said it is because they can automatically nuke right after they Ogi. That's why they're good. And not to mention, they can also do like a little bit of defend down stackable shit going on. They have that going for them. So they're really, really good for OTK. So if you're planning to look for a character that can OTK, Lancelot and Vayne is a very, very strong character. The other character that is very, very strong for OTK is Siegfried down there. Mr. Batman. Batman is, well, Batman. Yeah, man, he's Batman. I mean, he hits so fucking hard, man. He hits so freaking hard. So he does an extra free nuke as well after he Ogis. That's the other good thing. So if you're just looking for a character that can easily help you in your OTK, then yeah, by all means, Siegfried is your character, man. Definitely. Colossus can kind of help you in OTK a little bit, but you require to use like, I'm pretty certain you require to use like fish or some shit because he needs 200 charge bar and stuff like that, right? But yeah, if you're in that position, then sure, I guess, but I wouldn't really say he's really that good for OTK stuff. But yeah, if you already think you already have Siegfried and Vayne and Lancelot, I don't think you actually need anyone else when it comes to OTK. I'm pretty sure those two are already good enough when it comes to OTK stuff. Alright, so the other one I would definitely point out again for Ulysses, because Ulysses is like an enmity character. She definitely helps you in Guild War as well, 100%, because she can hit really, really hard for Guild War. She can burst relatively well as well, because she also helps you enable enmity. Like, say for example, if you do not have like say for like Valentine's Cat to enable free enmity or whatever shit like that, Ulysses is really good because she has a passive that automatically adds in for gives another bump up of enmity mod damage thingy or bonus modifier or whatever shit. She basically has like an extra weapon in your grid as long as you slot her into your frontline and you activate enmity on her, because she has that passive that bumps your entire frontline with that. So she definitely helps. She has a very good bursty setup as well. So if you're thinking if you need a character like that, sure, by all means, eh? She's very good in that regard. And not to mention, if you're also thinking that if you need garrison and stuff, yeah, once again, she's good. The other character that I would like to point out is once again Zeta. So Zeta is definitely gonna be like easily your best character to have in Guild War, only if you can full limit break her. If you got the material already, if you do not have the materials, just skip this portion. Just skip this Zeta part. You shouldn't even bother getting Zeta if you do not have the full limit break upgrade yet. So the main reason why I say that she's really good, because in Guild War, Dispel is very, very good. Delay is very, very good. And she can nuke. She can do plane damage as well. She can also do like very nice bursty setup for herself too. So it's really good. It's really like perfect for Guild War. She's like probably one of the best characters to have for Guild War, I would say. I think a lot of people use her for Guild War, especially when it comes to like full auto stuff. This is very likely I'll be doing that. The other character I would definitely want to point out is Athena. Athena is also going to be a very, very strong character for the upcoming Guild War. Probably because like we all know for a fact that Guild War, like say for example like Nightmare 150 or whatever shit, tends to hit you so freaking hard. A character like Athena is going to be very, very helpful, because not only she can give you a lot of sustain with the armor, with the refresh and the delay and blind shit, she can consistently just keep nuking every turn, because I'm very certain that the boss will always do an AoE attack or some multi-hit shit that hits multiple of your characters at once or whatever shit. So getting her stacks up is going to be super easy. Very, very easy. So Athena is going to be like probably one of your best pick as well when it comes to full auto, because you can click all of her skills anyway. But yeah, Athena is going to be very, very good for the upcoming Guild War. No doubt about that. Therese can burst, but like she's not that great anymore. So I don't really recommend Therese in any given time for Guild War. And not to mention, Therese is only good for, I think, very, very strong for Primal. If you're like Magna and stuff, she's not really that great. Plus, she doesn't have like enmity or whatever. So if you focus on enmity, Therese is not really that good either way. Yeah, the other characters doesn't seem to be really helpful for Guild War. So yeah, that's That's all I can say for the upcoming Fire... Oh wait, sorry, I forgot to mention one more important one. I would say Percival can be a nice character to have, but unfortunately, we do not know when is the exact date of his rebalance. If you already have like majority of the characters I mentioned earlier, you could actually consider him, because there's a chance that he might get his rebalance right before Guild Wars, so we might not know. But if you really want to bank on that to hope that he actually turns out to be good, I guess you can actually consider getting Percival. But it's kind of hard to actually say that he's going to be really, really good though. So I wouldn't really know whether he's actually worth grabbing in this Suptix or not. I wouldn't really say so though, because it's like a hit or miss, right? You can't really tell whether is it gonna be a good idea or not. The other one would be Tsubasa. Yes, I forgot to mention this in my OTK thing earlier, but Tsubasa is also another character that is very, very good to help you in your OTK if you're lacking in a lot of damage, because his S2 helps you out in to get that extra burst a lot better. And not to mention, he also provides, if I recall, he also provides you meter. So especially if you do not have like the so-called what's that, the that said extra meter from like the Juten's wonder trophy thingy, or like you don't have like your own Londong or whatever shit, he's gonna be really, really good in that regard. So yeah, that's the other one I totally forgot to mention. So Tsubasa, when it comes to OTK stuff, Tsubasa, Siegfried, and Vayne and Lancelot is really, really good. When it comes to like standard stuff, Athena, like for Guild War in general, Athena, Zeta, Ulysses is gonna be great. You can even consider maybe Siegfried could actually even help you in that normal one, because Siegfried is also kind of like, he's kind of like somewhat like a defensive character in a way, besides of his whole OTK standards. He can actually be a normal defensive sustain character as well, but I wouldn't really fully count on him when it comes to that situation, because I honestly think that situation is better off just relying on the likes of like Athena or some shit like that, because Athena is probably going to be a lot better in that regard. But yeah, that's it for my fire favorite Guild War. That's probably like the few ones I can suggest, I guess. For this last part here I'm going to talk about is going to be very, very I gotta have like a huge disclaimer for this one. So I am not sure when is the next Suptix is going to be. For all we know, they could just delay it, probably like maybe until like summer or some shit. So because we already know for a fact that our favorite Guild War is coming directly after Fire Favoured. So if you already have like the set of the like fire characters and shit, your fire is already set and you still wonder what you should pick. So maybe you could also consider working on your our favorite Guild War, because our favorite Guild War is probably in, I think it's in August. Because the next one is in Fire Favoured is in June, right? Yeah, I think it's in August. Yeah, because they're gonna skip like 1 month or some shit. So yeah, there might actually be another Suptix before that Guild War, but I'm not too sure. I'm just gonna mention it first because maybe some of you guys already gotten your fire ready and you just want something else for the upcoming Guild War. Sure, that's why I was thinking of putting this up as well. So, but when it comes to like the next Suptix, I'm probably gonna put this in again because that probably might have new characters and shit included anyway. So yeah, doesn't matter. So anyway, our favorite Guild War. So number one, our favorite Guild War. The first character I would say that is really, really good, OTK characters, Dante and Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit. Yeah, whatever you pronounce his name, the stupid cat. He is very, very strong when it comes to OTK. He has an automated nuke every single time he Ogi, so that shit hits a lot. He does a lot of damage basically, and I will only say that Dante is probably good besides OTK when you have like a specific like wrestler-ish setup to go with, because if not, he can be kind of hard to actually make use of outside of OTK stuff, because you don't really have like the that whole restless setup shit. You probably don't really see much out of Dante. So yeah. The other one I would probably want to consider or putting in when it comes to OTK is Medusa. Medusa is another character I would consider that is relatively great for her favorite Guild War when it comes to OTK, because her Ogi provides her counter. So what's gonna happen is that because the boss in EX Plus always does the stupid, you know, the machine gun punch or some shit from like One Punch Man or something. Yeah. So because the boss always does that, no matter what, Medusa will always get to counter. And her counter actually hits relatively hard too when you get like a specific like skill cap or whatever stuff included in your team, because you know, like I mentioned before, skill base is probably one of the safer things to actually aim for or work towards to when it comes to OTK, because you're always gonna cap on that no matter what. Or not really not gonna cap 100%, but like you're gonna get capped very easily on that one. So that's why Medusa is relatively good in that regard. So besides that, OTK, you could also consider, wait, is there another one? Ah yes, Siegfried is also the original Siegfried can somewhat be that character too, but honestly the Siegfried's the automated nuke after his Ogi is like, I wouldn't exactly say is as strong as the other two I just mentioned. Siegfried can automatically nuke after his Ogi as well, but it's not as strong as the other characters. If you already have other characters and you want to get him, sure, I guess that works. But yeah, the OG Siegfried can actually do that as well. OTK others isn't really that great when it comes to like standard, like how do I say, like standard like normal nightmare shit. It's kind of hard to say, because like I would just consider suggesting Dante again, because Dante is actually really strong in that regard. You could also probably even consider Ladiva, because Ladiva is also probably very good in a specific maybe based on the specific boss, whatever mechanic he has. We have no idea yet. But my guess is that maybe it could be really good in that regard. Ladiva can be very, very strong when you get the grapple thing up. You get like the other, I forgot what's the other skill. The basically all the stuff that Ladiva has, okay? It can be really good. Air can be relatively decent as well, because he can always counter and stuff. And not to mention he can he always can, you can always activate guts on him as well whenever he activates that third skill of his. The other one I would also suggest is Bale. Is also another character that I can suggest too, because what Bale does is that he allows you to make your party damage a little bit more consistent, because he also gives you the extra chain burst cap. And not to mention he has that, I've forgotten what his S2 called, but what Bale does is basically he puts a buff to himself with another character that you choose, that allows you to get like double attack, the attack buff and whatever shit, which allows you to be a little bit stronger. So if you're also looking for like a certain buff to make your team a little bit more consistent, Bale can help you as well. Bale is pretty cool as well in that regard, because he can also, especially if you have say if you already have Octo Full Limit Break, right? Bale can be that character that can really blow out of control because of the extra chain burst thingy, because the chain burst will, as long as he gets his chain burst, he can increase that stack fast. So once he gets that stack up early, you can automatically just get his whatever chain burst cap a lot. Your chain burst can be a lot stronger. So just having him in there with the whole session thingy, whatever stuff, can actually empower your team a whole lot more. Yeah, I think that's really about it. I mean, I could also maybe, Helly is somewhat okay, but the problem with Helly is that she needs to not get hit, and Guild War always hits like probably almost every single one of the party members. So Helly is not really a good character to consider. I think that's pretty much about it for this part. The other thing that you have to keep in mind is that I'm only mentioning the ones that is probably going to be really good at that current time, and could be good or might be good. We don't know whether they are still going to be good at that time, because for all we know, it could change because we have like a brand new content coming out end of this month. We might have new characters in summer, because Guild War is probably happening either in the middle of summer or probably near the end of summer. Who knows, right? So we might have new characters in summer that actually helps you a whole lot more, that you can probably spark for and shit, and then you don't even need the Suptix anymore. So this one is gonna be a very, very heavily disclaimer section, because this is only for the part where if you think you just want to work on your Earth and shit like that because of Guild War, upcoming Guild War in August or whatever shit, right? Yep, that's it. That's a long video. Has been a very, very long video. I apologize because yeah, we have a lot of things to talk about, because it's been a long time since we last had a normal Suptix to actually get instead of like anniversary ticks or whatever. Honestly, about what I can say about which character to consider when it comes to Suptix, I know it's a fucking hefty video, but hopefully you guys find this helpful. Hopefully you guys find this enjoyable, I guess. I'm not sure, maybe some guys just want to listen to my voice and talk for an hour or some shit, but yeah, I guess thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, and I guess you can also hit that bell icon thingy. That'll be great. You can comment whatever characters that you pick on this from this Suptix. Let me know. Would be a pretty nice thing to react to on stream one of these days. Yeah, sure, hit me up. But yeah, thanks for watching. I love you all. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.